More of me?
Me?
Go to MeTVFresno.com for schedules, information on your favorite shows, videos, pictures, and more. Go to MeTVFresno.com today. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.
Hello, I'm John Mallows, and welcome to Connect with me on MeTV Fresno. Today, the guest on the program is Dean Eller. He's the president and the CEO of the Jenny Eller Central California Blood Center. Your phone calls are encouraged. Area code 559-265-4331. Call in. Dean Eller is the guest. Back in a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
Exactly right. You are watching Connect with me on MeTV Fresno. It is your community day here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. It is Friday morning, and happy Friday. Hope you have a great weekend ahead. We want to encourage you to call in today because the number is 265-4331, but mainly because of our guest. He is Dean Eller. He is the president and the CEO of the Jenny Eller Central California Blood Center. He's a great guy, a very, very compelling and powerful story that he has to tell here on Connect with Me today. And it all has to do with his daughter, Jenny Eller. We have a picture of Jenny Eller. I want to tell you her story. She's 21 years old when she passed away back in October of 1995 from a very aggressive leukemia. She battled leukemia for 4 years. She had several blood transfusions all the time. She had been diagnosed at the age of 18. She was a senior at Bullard High. She was a softball player, and a great one. She had a dozen scholarships or more sitting on the table from all around the country when she was diagnosed. The Jenny Eller Central California Blood Center, we also have a picture of that. If we can show you the blood center, it's located at Herndon and Blythe. This building was completed back in 2009, $20 million. 62,000 square feet. It's in Northwest Fresno. And Dean Eller, the president and the CEO, it was his daughter's death that really inspired him to build this new building. Dean Eller, a mortgage banker who volunteered at the Blood Center after the death of his daughter, Jenny Eller, is now the president and the CEO. A very heartfelt and compelling story about his daughter, Jenny. Dean Eller is here to talk about it on Connect with Me. 265-4331 is the number. Come right back. We'll wait to hear from you and your phone calls.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Welcome back. I want to give that phone number out one more time because Dean Eller is here, the president and the CEO of the Blood Center, Central California Blood Center on Herndon and Blythe in Northwest Fresno. It is 559-265-4331. Dean, good to see you.
Good seeing you, John.
Oh, man, what a story. It's not one that's very pleasant to hear or to talk about, but after all this time, I know your daughter passed away at the age of 21 back in 1995. How are you dealing with it after all of these years?
Well, we really, my wife and I both just look at as our calling, our ministry, and and sometimes in life you have to make lemonade out of lemons, and it was a tragedy. Obviously, died way too young. But she had a real passion for blood donation. She understood, even at 21 years of age, that people who give blood were keeping her alive. And she really identified with that. And so she understood that if she didn't get blood donations every week, she couldn't live into the next week. And that happened, that transpired for nearly 4 years. So blood donors came in and actually kept her alive week to week. And she identified with that, and that became her life mission for that nearly 4 years.
We have a phone call, Dean. Let's take it and see who it is. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me with Dean Eller. What's your question, please?
My question has to do with, if people donate blood for free, why do people that get leukemia or get cancer or stuff like that, why?
I'm sorry, ma'am. Can you speak up a little? I guess we lost the connection. Are you still there?
Why? Yeah, I'm here.
What's your question?
Well, my question is why do people need the blood? Why do they have to pay for it? They pay so much for it, because I have people that have had cancer in my family, everything, that had to have blood transfusions, and it's ridiculously how much they have to pay.
It's a good question. And years ago, before all of the testing and where blood became safer, and it's very safe now, years and years ago, they used to have old community plans, which if you received blood or your loved one received blood, you just had 2 or 3 relatives come in and replace that blood. And it was it turned over. There wasn't much cost in it. In today's modern age, blood is tested. We do 14 separate tests on the blood
To make sure it's safe.
to make sure it's safe. With the advent of AIDS and HIV, and hepatitis and those types of things, and a lot of other various diseases, we have to test it. All that costs money. And so what we do at the Blood Center, we are a nonprofit organization. We have volunteer donors because the FDA requires that blood donors volunteer. It can't be, we can't pay them for it. And then we process it. So we just charge the amount that it costs us to process it and keep the doors open, and then our margin, so we have an operating margin for the Blood Center.
All right. Does that kind of answer your question? I guess the call. Yeah? All right. I appreciate your call. Thank you for watching. And Dean, I want to get back to, we're going to talk about that blood testing in just a moment. That was a great question from our caller. But your daughter, getting back to Jenny, which she was the inspiration for building this new blood center. Now, let me ask you something. I want you to tell the story the day that she was diagnosed, because I read it. I broke out in tears reading it myself. You guys were in the car. You were in the car with your wife, and Jenny was there with you, and you asked her what her reaction was. And can you tell us, pick it up from there?
Sure. Well, actually, it was just Jenny and I. My wife was in another car, but Jenny, we had just found out, basically, she had received a death sentence, a very aggressive type of leukemia. And she and I got in our car to drive back home, and I waited for a few blocks, and when we got on the freeway, Jenny had been very silent, looking out the passenger side window, and when I turned to her, I said, "Jenny, so what do you think? What do you think about this diagnosis of leukemia?"
She was sitting next to you.
She was sitting next to me in the passenger seat, and just so matter of fact, she turned to me and just said, "Dad, I just don't want you and Mom to be sad, because I'm not sad." Said, "I'm a little have a little anxiety over the treatment, the chemo and everything that's going to come about, but I'm not sad, because I know that I'm in God's hands, and whatever the outcome, I know it will be His will." And here I had my 18-year-old daughter at that very moment, what most teenagers should never have to face, well, a full life in front of her. She kind of figuratively picked me up and put me on her shoulders, and I think she really carried me for the next 4 years.
Yeah, and it was a 4-year battle. She fought very courageously.
Right.
Lost the battle. We have another phone call. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me with Dean Eller, and your question.
Yeah, I was going to ask him, does it work like a regular blood bank, or is it only going towards people that have cancer? Like, say, for instance, I donate the blood, and do I get like credit for it for myself? Down the line, if something happens to me or somebody in my family, or are they going to get into those kind of specifics?
Yeah, it's a good question, John. The way it works is people come in and donate blood, and it goes into a general pool. You can come in and donate for yourself if you're going to have surgery, next week. You can donate for yourself if your doctor will allow you to do so. But
You've got to be cleared then.
You got to be cleared, but it's not very common anymore. the blood supply is so safe, people just take it out of the general population. If you donate for yourself, though, you have to pay to donate for yourself, and the reason for that
Really? You pay to donate for yourself, but it's free to donate for someone else.
Yeah, but the reason for that, and there is good reason for it, the reason for that is if you come in and donate blood for yourself only, FDA says that it has to stay with you. I mean, it has to be given to you and you alone. And so if it's not used, and a lot of times in surgeries, if elective surgeries, it's not used, then we have to throw it away. And so all the costs and everything that were born there,
Wow.
insurance companies won't pay for it.
It's down the drain.
Yeah, and so in the old days, again, you could kind of get credit, but once the modern age came in, where insurance companies picked up, or Medicare, Medi-Cal, those types of things pick up the cost of blood, those things kind of went away.
Right,
Oh,
I
okay.
understand. Does that kind of answer your question there, sir?
It sure did. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for calling. Very
Very good question.
Very great question and very informative. Did not know that myself. We're going to continue our conversation with Dean Eller, the president and the CEO of the Jenny Eller Central California Blood Center in Northwest Fresno, and your phone calls in a minute.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new, fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want.
This Amana Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is now just $6.99, and this heavy-duty Maytag Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is only $8.99.
Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
And we're back with Dean Eller, the president and the CEO of the Blood Center. And Dean, let me ask you, we were talking about the blood, and I do want to show some video of people donating blood. They're very generous here in the Central Valley when it comes to that regard. But that story that you told a few minutes ago about your daughter Jenny in the car uplifted you, did it not, with her attitude?
Absolutely.
And talk about her attitude and her determination to survive and live and fight this thing for 4 years. Was she ever down? Was she ever dejected?
Well, obviously, there are going to be those moments when when you're down. But for the most part, Jenny was very positive about that.
How did that make you and your wife feel?
Well, it was great. I mean, I don't know how we would have gotten through this whole ordeal without her strength, and she really was very, very strong. She was a motivating person. I mean, she was up. She's a type A personality, great athlete, good student, and so from that standpoint, she just did carry us. And as parents, you're going through a roller coaster of emotions. But you know what? She really felt that God had called her to something, and this was it.
You're a religious person?
We are strong Christians.
And how has that helped you?
Well, I think our faith has been instrumental in this whole thing. Our faith, the promise that I made to Jennifer the night she died, that I would carry on her work.
Well, what's the promise?
The promise
Carrying
was,
on her work in what way?
Jenny was very, very passionate about blood donation, because she knew that blood donors were keeping her alive. Each and every week, she had to have those donations. So she became the spokesperson. They had asked her to become the volunteer spokesperson for the Blood Center. She used to go to service groups and churches and schools and talking about the need, why people had to give blood to keep the blood supply up.
So the night she passed away, you were holding her hand.
Yes.
And you made her that promise.
I did. I just about an hour before she died, I leaned over and told her, that I would carry on her work. And
what did she say?
She was ecstatic. I mean, that part was good. She was in the last few minutes of her life, but she knew that her life had meant something.
But Dean, strong faith has carried you through. Was there ever any anger or the question, why my daughter? Why Jenny?
Well, Jenny never had too much of a why me, but I did, certainly. Those things as a father, you say, gee, why is this happening? And the more that I talked to her, the more that we got into our own faith, we understood that there was a purpose in all of this. And look what good has come into our community as a result of all of her trials.
Yeah, we'll continue this part of it in just a moment. Phone call, though, first. Good morning. You're on Connect with me, with Dean Eller.
A question to Dean. Well, I am a small person, 110, a male, and will there ever be a time where you could actually give blood such as a half a pint instead of a pint? Because I don't think my body could take the whole pint. I have reservations about it. So that's my question to Dean. And or can you come back and finish it up the next day to make it a pint? So it may be a goofy question, but to me it's a serious one.
Yeah, no, it's not goofy at all. At 110 pounds, and that's the cutoff for when you how much you need to weigh to donate. You have to weigh at least 110 pounds, and it's because of just the caller's question, because of the volume that is there. It's safe for a person with 110 pounds to give a pint of blood. Some people react, some people don't. But no, the FDA won't allow us to take a half a pint. We have to. Everything's in standard measures, and it has to go from that amount.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let me ask you. Thank you for the call, by the way. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for calling and watching. Let me ask you now. You talking about your faith and having it pulled through. Strong Christian. You believe you know where Jenny is.
I do.
But isn't there just a little glimmer of anger or wondering, how could this have happened to my daughter?
No anger, John, whatsoever. Again, our faith tells us that we need to accept certain things. Is there grief? Yes.
Grief. Still grief to this day.
Oh, absolutely. I think you grieve. I think you will grieve to the day we die. But I think that's the natural human response. But anger, no.
Right. I want to show some video now of the blood center. If you could turn around, Dean, and take a look at the monitor. We've got some video of some people donating blood here. Now, what types of blood are you in need of most?
Well, I always say the blood type we need most is your type, and we don't have it. But other than that, O negative is a universal donor. And that's the one that's used in all emergency situations. And so we have to have it stocked in the emergency room. So we really love O negative donors to come in. O positive is the most common. A positive is the next. And so those are the ones that are used most.
Right. And we're looking here at someone else donating blood. Now let me ask you about the blood being tested. It's thoroughly tested. We got into that earlier, but it's tested for what? It's tested for AIDS and what else?
Hepatitis. There's 2 or 3 different forms of hepatitis, different viruses. We test for West Nile virus. We test for a lot of different things.
Right. We're going to continue looking at the video here and take a phone call at the same time. Good morning. You're on with Dean Eller. What's your question?
Not a question, a statement. I have been a donor for over 30 years. I have baby blood and gifted that way. It keeps me going, and I want to say personal thanks to you, sincerely.
Thank you.
I understand everything. It is something that more people should just try. Don't be afraid. It's nothing to fear.
That's exactly right. It's just just one little needle stick, 5 minutes in the chair and to give blood, and then about 15 or 20 minutes of eating great Twinkies and ice cream and popcorn, all to save a life. You're going to do one of 2 things when you give blood. This caller is exactly right. You're either going to save somebody's life, or you're going to help prolong somebody's life like you did Jennifer's for 4 years. Here's what this means, John, and this is really important for your audience to understand. What blood donors gave to the Eller family was, during that 4-year period, was 4 more birthdays, 4 more Christmases, 4 more years of wonderful memories that this father will cherish for a lifetime. 4 more years where she got to go to college, she got to find a young man, fall in love. That's what blood donors have done for the Eller family and for her.
The gift of life.
It is the gift of life. It truly is.
Well, we appreciate your phone call and your comments. Very kind of you, sir. Appreciate it. And we're going to continue our conversation with Dean Eller.
Good day.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're going to continue our conversation with Dean Eller here on Connect with Me. We're going to have our Connect with Me daily deal. with Lauren Boothillier in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the go big, thin as in, flats where it's at place. The HD 3D web-enabled electronics and TV place. You following me?
LG's 50-inch flat panel TV is great for sports, and the 600 hertz subfield driving virtually eliminates motion blur. Get it now for just $5.99.
At the big screen surround sound, no more $12 popcorn place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Howdy, I'm John Wallace, and I'm here to tell you all about me. MeTV, that is. When nothing else matters but boots and chaps and cowboy hats, MeTV is where you ought to be. From the Cartwrights on the Ponderosa to Marshall Dillon keeping peace in Dodge, MeTV is your station for Western hits like Bonanza and Gunsmoke, the Big Valley, Branded, Rawhide, the Wild Wild West, and more. So dust off your boots and saddle up and visit MeTVFresno.com to learn how to get MeTV for free.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want. Save now on Frigidaire's Advanced Affinity Laundry Pair. Let Frigidaire save you energy, water, and time. Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
I'm Lauren, here on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. Today's Connect With Me daily deal for MeTV viewers is the Frigidaire Gallery Upright Freezer. This freezer has so many features. Look at all of the space in there. That means no more coming back from the store and having to shove in all of your food that you just bought. You will never run out of space. This allows you to take advantage of sales and buy in bulk, which will save you money. As you can notice, the control panel is on the outside of the freezer, which is more convenience for you because there's no more reaching into the cold temperatures to adjust the settings. It also has automatic alerts, so if you happen to leave the freezer door open or if the temperatures get too hot or too cold, it'll alert you of that. Another great feature is Extreme Freeze, and that will allow you to quickly freeze your meats, your chicken, your poultry to lock in that flavor and reduce the risk of spoilage. That way you don't waste money by your food going bad. And unlike traditional freezers, this is a frost-free freezer. So that means there is no more of having to spend all day defrosting your freezer by hosing it down and chiseling away that ice. The regular price for this freezer is $949, but if you come into Ventura TV, it is $799. But today, for Connect With Me viewers, it is $739. That is a total savings of $210. But on top of that, we will add in a free 10-year warranty on the compressor, which is an $80 value. You will be saving $290 if you come in today for the Connect With Me daily deal. This is good through tomorrow noon.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. And let me ask you, though, that 10-year warranty on the compressor, that's worth the price of coming in and buying it as well. And the fact that it's frost-free, that's incredible.
Yes, frost-free means that you don't have to unplug it, empty all of your food out, hose it down. You see a lot of ice build up a lot of times. You don't have to chisel at it, nothing. You will not get any ice freeze in there.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. We're going to continue here on Connect With Me, our conversation with Dean Eller. He's the president and the CEO of the Blood Center, and your phone calls, too.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified, ready, steam-equipped, high-efficiency Frigidaire Affinity place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Frigidaire laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
From now on, when I sneeze, I'll try to sneeze more friendly.
And we're back here on Connect with Me with Dean Eller, the president and CEO of the Blood Center. And the number, by the way, is 265-4331. Any more questions left? Better hurry because we're running out of time here on this show. We've got about 4 minutes left. And Dean, getting back to the blood, can anyone just walk in and draw blood?
Yes.
And give blood?
Well, as long
what are the parameters?
As long as you're at least 17 years of age or 16 with parental consent, weigh at least 110 pounds, and if you're in good general health, then come on in. We need you.
Let me ask you a question. What if you come in and you donate blood and they find out that there is something wrong with your blood, like maybe you're infected with HIV or you have hepatitis? Do they find out they draw your blood, then they test it?
Yes. We draw it, we test it right away. And
where is it tested?
Right at the Jenny Eller Donor Center, right there on Herndon Avenue.
Okay, so it's tested right there, and within how long a period of time will you know if there's something wrong?
We'll know the next day.
Oh, okay.
So it's immediate. We start processing the very next day.
Right, and that last phone call that we had, are there some people that you know of that might be afraid of coming in?
Yeah, well,
because they're afraid of needles, like myself.
Yeah, I think that there's some anxiety on some people that do, but I'll tell you, after we shame people into coming in and quit being big babies,
right.
You know what? They really do see how easy it is to give blood, and they are it's just phenomenal. You see their eyes light up and say, I'll be back in 8 weeks to give again.
So the Blood Center, you do basically no fundraisers.
Right.
You take in donations?
We do.
Okay.
We are a
how is
nonprofit.
It you stay afloat?
Well, we stay afloat with obviously donations from the public, but we don't. That is not our purpose. Our purpose really is to get people to come in and donate blood.
Right.
Our blood, though, is once we process the blood and again charge the hospitals for
you sell the blood to the hospitals.
We do. We take that and recoup the cost of testing from that standpoint.
Right, but you don't go out and do any high-profile fundraising or anything of that nature like some nonprofits do.
We don't. We have one major fundraiser of the year, and it's for the ladies, and it's out with it's in an association with the Clovis Rodeo Association, and we do a Cowgirl U. It's called Cowgirl U, Cowgirl University, and it's a great day of fun for the ladies.
Now, a lot of people don't know you originally wanted 8 acres of land to build that blood center out near Children's Hospital. That didn't work out.
That's correct. We couldn't get all the necessary building permits and things we needed to get done, and after about 3 or 4 years, we decided that was not going to work, and so we went out to Herndon.
And you've been saving for the new building out near Herndon and the land for how long? How many years?
It had been about between 9 and 10 years. Once I came to the Blood Center and kind of assessed what we needed in the community, I began as an administrator. I began putting money away for the day that I knew that we would need a new center. Our old center was about 35, 37 years old.
Yeah.
It was dated, and we needed something state-of-the-art. We have a wonderful community here. We needed something wonderful for the community.
And it must feel great because I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, there's no mortgage on that building. You paid for that land and the building cash. Is that correct?
That is correct. We didn't even get a construction loan. We just paid for it as we were building it.
In phases, obviously.
In the regular draws that a contractor would have, but instead of the bank paying them, we paid them.
Right. So free and clear, completed back in 2000. No, when was it completed? 2009. Okay, I was going to say that. And so the message today, before we close out, what's the most important message?
I think the most important message is that patients in Valley hospitals need blood donors. They can't live without them. And if everyone would do their part, which is you can donate blood, you're eligible to donate blood every 8 weeks. If you come in every 8 weeks and donate blood, take an hour of your time, 20 minutes of it with snacks, an hour of your time, we would never have a blood shortage in the Central Valley. We would never have a blood shortage.
Giving the gift of life, Dean Eller. Hey, I consider you a friend. You're a friend of this show and this audience here, and you're welcome back anytime.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. Hope you have a great weekend.
You too.
And go Giants.
No, I'm going to say Dodgers this weekend.
All right. Have a great weekend. See you Monday. Mike Briggs is on the air, off the presses, our guest, centralvalleytalk.com. We'll talk to him about that and many more things here on Connect with Me Oh, it's a big series between the Giants and Dodgers this weekend at AT&T Park, and the Olympics get underway tonight, the opening ceremonies. I'm glad to have you along today. I'm John Malish, your host, and we'll see you back here bright and early on Monday.